Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Ready to Love, Season 8, Episode 7.
What's up with y'all? But before we start, subscribe.
And like and comment. Join the discussion. Let's build our community. We want 1,000 by the end of the year. So be part of our team.
I was just going to leave it as subscribe.
Okay.
But thank you.
Of course. All right. So jumping into it, it is the ladies' lounge. Ladies have the power for the week, and we only have 6 ladies left. We have Kat, Janelle, Sierra, Lee, Jessica, and Aries.
Okay.
And the challenge of the week is to invite them in to meet your best friends, to get grilled, and have your best friends help you find some insight into who you want to be with.
So last week, the men had to bring their exes. This week, the women got to bring their best friends.
Yes.
Okay, I see what you're doing, Tommy.
Yeah. So first date up is Kat, and she brings Herbert and Phil, and they are meeting her friend Allie.
Oh, hello, Allie.
And they call themselves Alley Cat.
When
Phil walks in.
What is your first thought of Allie when you saw her? I know we're not supposed to judge a book by the cover, but what is your first thoughts?
I thought she seemed kind of eccentric. Wasn't a fan of the wig. I felt like it didn't. I would have loved to see her in some texture, some hair, some volume. It just didn't. It didn't do it for her. So, but I liked her bubbly personality. She seemed like a good time to hang around. But yeah. What about you?
Yeah, Blair's being PC.
That's how I felt.
I'm gonna tell you how I felt. Immediately when I saw her friend Allie, or whatever her name is, I was like, especially after the conversation them two had, I was like, Allie is not gonna do a good job at all to serve her friend. She gonna serve herself. And sometimes you want to ask tough questions, but I learned this: if you asking questions that no one can answer, then that's on the person asking the question.
But she wasn't the worst friend, but she could have been better. No,
I ain't trying to compare the worst friend. Yeah. Bad is bad.
Yeah.
And Allie, in my opinion, from just how they was prepping, I'm going to get into these guys. I'm like, wait a minute. No, you're trying to help your friend, Kat, who, first of all, didn't have the same amount of time as everybody else, get a connection.
Yeah.
Trying to find love.
But see, you're also putting into the thought that maybe Kat is being honest with her friend that even though she has connections with these guys, they kind of weak connections.
But she has no connections.
Right.
But because my whole thing is, out of these guys, I'm like, these probably the two that she probably would want a connection with, maybe.
Yeah, but it's not really.
But there. It's not there. Yeah. So I'm like, because you don't have that much time on the show, based on when you joined the show, and the fact you have no connections, I felt like initially that Allie wasn't going to serve the purpose of helping Kat build a strong connection with either of the guys. Now, this is what I thought before the guys even got there.
Yeah.
So we about to see, was I right or was I right?
Okay. So they talk a little bit with Phil before Herbert comes. And apparently Phil didn't reply to a text message that Kat sent. And then Herbert arrives. And Allie is asking them what makes them stand out compared to all the other guys. And Herbert says that he's him. He's that guy. He's Herbert. And that is what does it for the girls. And Phil expresses that he is intentional about going deeper and having more intimate relationships emotionally, conversationally. And that's what makes him stand out.
Yeah.
Allie said, Herbert, you should have came better with that.
Okay, Allie. So far, so good.
Yeah. So Allie, she is expressing that how would it be if Kat were to fall pregnant? And fall pregnant, I'm just like, geez, are we saying that?
I don't even know what that
grown
means.
Age?
Fall pregnant.
For someone to fall pregnant?
Okay.
And Phil says that, she's asking, will my friend have to work if she were to fall pregnant?
What type of question is that, Allie? What, no, seriously, in the year of our Lord 2023, what do you mean what's up with these superficial questions of do she have to work if she falls pregnant based on
that might be their priority.
Ain't no priority.
Is the finances.
I don't control that. Your job controls that because your job should have maternity leave. So basically,
So you ain't got to quit.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you shouldn't. Your job should have it, and if they don't have it, then we should report them,
Right.
Or create a union. You know what I mean? What they got to do with me?
Let's get activated.
Exactly.
Right.
That has nothing to do with me.
And Phil says that, look, if she wants to stop working, okay, that whatever, but she has so many ideas that she might want to birth, and I just can't let the world not experience you as a powerful woman that you are with all these ideas. So
Phil,
that was a nice way to flip it, Phil.
That's the best way of saying, dang, I nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And Herbert gets the gall when Philip leaves to go take his son after school camp or something.
Philip said, that's enough for me. I only needed 2 questions. This ain't my connection anyway. I'm out.
Yeah, Philip said, I got to go take my kid to wash his shoes at the car wash.
Something like that. It was just, I'm out of here.
Exactly. And Herbert gets it into his spirit that he's going to be the one asking questions now. Mm-hmm. And Herbert is saying, well, what does Kat need in a man? And Allie is saying someone who is secure in their future, in their finances, is what I gather from that.
What do you mean?
So Herbert expresses who his top 3 are, which is Janelle, Lee, and Kat. I was surprised by Lee because I was like, when have you been hanging out with Lee or gone on dates with Lee?
Forgot she was on the show.
And I don't think we saw Lee and Herbert. I know they also go on dates that they don't show on this show. They get edited out. But I don't know why Herbert and Lee, none of their dates made the cut.
Because she don't say nothing.
True.
Like, I don't understand why that's hard for you to understand.
Yeah.
Lee is boring.
Yeah.
Continue.
And Herbert, he skedaddles pretty quickly too. All right, I got to go take myself to go get my shoes washed at the car wash.
I got to go help Phil pick up his son at the after school program. Yeah.
So the girls get to talking, and Allie likes Phil better than Herbert. And she feels that Herbert is just not very decisive. He kind of comes across as a ladies' man with him liking all these different women. And Kat is saying, look, Phil is cool, but he's all talk. He's no action. I kind of feel like Herbert's the same way. So
I feel like they are misrepresenting Herbert. Like, what do you mean he's a ladies' man? Like how is that a bad thing? Like, is that
it's a bad thing when you can't decide on who you want.
Are they questioning his indecisiveness, or are they questioning his faithfulness?
Or his multiple connections. I think that makes them feel weird, but that's the show.
It's a show. So that's why I'm asking you. Do you think they're questioning his indecisiveness or his faithfulness?
I think his indecisiveness.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think any of them think that he's a cheater or someone who can't be trusted. But at this point.
Yeah.
But by him not being able to make a choice and really pursuing anybody, it comes across that he's just playing with everybody.
But that ladies' man, you know how it's like coded for something. Like, I understand, like he's
a player.
They call it exactly. So continue.
Next, we have Aries with her friends Lacey and Stephanie, and they are there to meet Phil and Chris.
I know Chris was happy to see this. Chris was happy to be on this date.
This is where Chris wants to be.
I'm gonna make it very clear this episode, as I made it last episode. Chris, I want you gone. I do not like my favorite word. This propaganda you're trying to put on my girl Jessica. It's not fair. It's not right. And I want you off the show now. I want you eliminated. So
Lacey and Stephanie are asking Chris and Phil, what do they like most about Aries? And Chris says that he likes her calming, peaceful energy that she has about herself. Gosh. And Phil is saying that, look, they connected over both liking Bay Area music.
Too short. E40.
And the thing is, like, Chris, they also go in to ask him, I want to give my synopsis of the date afterwards. So
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so Chris says that the man should provide financial support and that he'll support her with anything that she wants to do if she wants to have a career of her own.
Okay.
And Phil, he went into his work history and just saying that he switched different jobs and careers and
being able to pivot.
Right. But he didn't come across as super financially stable in the answers that he gave.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Stephanie, her friends really liked Chris more. They felt that his values as far as him being more stable and could be somebody that Aries could depend on, is what I gathered. But the thing is, Phil and Aries have more of a connection. They just connect, and Chris, that's just not there. And also, even though they liked Chris's answer about him going deep and explaining the qualities and areas that he liked, I kind of took it as, you're saying that, but I feel like Phil's answer made it to seem like, okay, he's actually getting to know Aries, the fun side of her, what she likes, what she enjoys. Where I feel like Chris is
like this idea
is this idea of Aries and this woman that she is versus who is she really, and how does she really get down, and how do we connect on the real stuff that she enjoys.
Listen here, it's the little things that will point you in the direction of who she has a connection with. People would think like, oh, we want these deep answers, like, oh, she's so nurturing and she has this soft spirit, you know, like these deep sayings that really is hollow. You know what I'm saying? You hit it, you know, it's nothing in there. But something as simple as we connected on music, that's real. That's
That shows you're getting to know somebody.
That's everyday. That's an everyday occurrence. You listen to music every day.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That even the little things, such as connected to Bay Area music, lets you know, like, hey, Chris, you may like idolize this characteristics that you think you see, but she may be a whole different character, not in a bad way, but she may just be a whole nother side of her that you don't know, and he doesn't know because she has a stronger connection with Phil.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I totally agree.
Yeah. Next, we have Janelle going on her date with Herbert and Quentin.
What's up with y'all?
With her friends. And the friend wants to know, what do you guys like about Janelle? And Herbert says that she's sweet, but she's also a thug. She gets that popping. She's not afraid to speak her mind. And Quentin is saying that she can be a lot for a lot of people, but she's not too much for him.
Perfect answer. Quentin gave an excellent answer.
Then they get to talking about timelines, which is Herbert's struggle conversation, always.
He ain't no liar, though.
So Quentin expresses that he looks forward to kids and marriage as soon as possible when it's the right time, but sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Herbert, he said, look, we're going to have to talk about the timeline thing because she wants to get engaged by the end of the year. I don't move that quick. And she even asked, well, what is you guys' best characteristic that you love in a woman and or would want in your partner? Herbert says patience.
I love it. I love it. Listen here.
That is on theme, Herbert. I'll give you that. That's on brand.
If y'all don't appreciate Herbert's sense of humor on this show, man, Herbert, man, you're doing a great job keeping me entertained.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It is a show, and you asking us to make these connections that are not deep.
Yeah.
I understand. It's not my fault that you are 41 and you may want to haste the process. But Herbert is right. And Janelle is right to not choose him.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
They don't want the same thing.
They don't want the same thing. Even though she's like, you know, I think I told you, I said, I think Quentin scares Janelle because of the age difference. Because like he's very mature for his age. Not saying that he's immature, but the age difference, they about like 7 years, maybe even 8 years apart.
Yeah, it's like she don't know if she can trust it. Really.
Exactly. And Quentin is a looker.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, do I really is Quentin playing the game too good? And he's really the player? Or like, is Herbert just the, like, you get what I'm saying? Maybe he's just talking a good game, but maybe once I get him locked down, he's really a faithful good guy. Yeah. Because remember, Quentin didn't even bring an ex to the...
No, he brought a situation.
He brought a situation for his ex-girlfriend and things like that. A situation. And guess what? In that relationship, she wanted to take the next step.
And I think that's the thing with Quentin, is that I don't think he has a problem getting women. I think he just doesn't want to commit.
So I'm like, I think you should look at last episode or the last situation and not so much look at this situation with your best friend, but look who he brought to his date. He brought a woman rather, who wanted to take the next step, and he said, yeah. You get what I'm saying? Right. So like, I think that scares Janelle, and that's why she's like 80% into Quentin and 20% hesitant. Yeah. Because it's like, you don't want to be on the next a list of you basically a situation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the guys go, and
Mm-hmm.
the friend, she does like Quentin better.
Of
And
course.
honestly, I can say that not only just his looks, but I do feel like he gave better answers to
Yeah.
the questions in this scenario. So, but the friend also was just like, if it doesn't work out with him, just get back in touch with Herbert.
Exactly.
Hit him up. So that was funny.
She also made a joke saying, "Look, if it don't work with him, pass his number."
Right. So the next one is Lee and her friend Muffin.
Okay.
And they are only meeting Quentin.
You know what's funny? I was like, who she gonna meet with?
I was thinking that too, because I was like, don't seem like she like anybody. And that date with Quentin and the ex or whatever, it did not go well. He said she ghosted her. So why are you meeting up with Quentin? I guess because you saw on the show.
I'm thinking, Lee, like, who you gonna meet with? You haven't shown any connection. You haven't said anything. You haven't shown personality. So who is this connection that you about to build stronger with? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, she goes with the looker.
Yeah.
Like it's just a safer person for Quentin to show up to the date.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
And Muffin is just softballing this whole conversation to the point where Quentin is trying to get to know about them, their relationship as friends, and get more insight into Lee as a person, because they're not really asking him nothing. So he's trying to understand, so you guys are like party friends, y'all go to hang out together. And Muffin says, no, Lee, she just stays in the house and chills and stuff. I'm more so the partier. Mm-hmm. She's a grandma, but she's a fine grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And
Lee just sitting there like a mute. Didn't say anything.
Right. And Muffin is saying, well, how do you feel about Lee being her own brand outside of you?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, the questioning was a little odd to me because I was wondering, do you mean in the sense of like her being a personal trainer and she has her own brand, or just her being her own person and not being tied to a relationship? It was odd. I think she was just, like she said, distracted by his muscles. So Quentin says that he loves a woman who would go after their dreams, and he would support her wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Quentin expresses he is a hopeless romantic, and again, Muffin is not asking any hard questions. And Lee still hasn't opened up. So Lee was hoping that her friend would give her insight into this. The friend even gets up and says, well, let me hug him before you do. And she hugs Quentin when he walks out the door. And I'm just like, you should have brought a different friend.
I don't know
why you brought Muffin.
She ain't got none.
Yeah.
I'll take that lead.
Shoot, bring a cousin or somebody.
Listen here, man. Lee, you did not orchestrate this connection or this date or whatever it is to the best of your ability. I'm not going to blame Muffin. I'm going to blame Lee. Guess what? I can't ask questions about Lee because she ain't interested. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Lee have shown, and Quentin have said it in his confessional, that I still don't know this girl. Mm-hmm. I'm paraphrasing. That's basically what Quentin said. He said, I wish I got to know more about her and things like that. But I'm
getting nothing.
And the only thing that's keeping Lee on that show is that she's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Literally. Eventually, the guy's going to come down and they're going to eliminate her once they remember she's on the show. And they're going to be like, who is her connection here? Mm-hmm. Like, we ain't got to get rid of somebody's connection. Who is she connected with?
Right.
And they're going to be like, man, just let her go. The looks not enough. We don't know nothing about this girl. Mm-hmm. We literally do not know nothing about this girl. The most we ever heard her talk is about the time when she was on a date with Marvin, talk about how she's not into all that.
And she went on 2 dates with Marvin.
So I'm like, what? You're not into
wasting time.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, continue, Blair, continue.
Right. The next date we have is with Sierra, her two friends, and Marie and Herbert. And they're asking, what do they like about Sierra? And Marie says, of course, her look. She's beautiful. And her personality. Herbert says that they have great chemistry. Marie expresses that he is ready for marriage. They want to know, what are your intentions? What is the next step in your life when it comes to relationships? And Marie is ready for marriage. Herbert expresses he's been consistent.
He's not no liar.
He doesn't have a timeline. And they say, well, do you want to get married? Do you just want to have fun? He says, I want to have fun on my way to marriage.
I like that answer.
However long that takes him. And we wrap up their date, and the friends are really feeling Marie a lot better. They feel like Herbert is just kind of a smash and pass.
And now remember,
one night stand.
Marie, he came in with the idea that he has to make up for the last date that he was on when things of that nature. So I felt like he had better energy, even though it wasn't with this couple. I felt like his energy was way better than last week. Because you kind of could tell from last week, like once that date went down, like it just seemed like he was just there,
just
like,
off for the week.
like his exactly. So even with this, I could just tell, even though the date that he messed up on rather was with Janelle and Jessica, and then we would see that down the line. It was like on this date, I was like, okay, he's coming in
strong.
Like he's coming in strong. He straight beat Herbert out on a date, and I was like, listen, man, I'm liking this, man. Keep the psychic cards and all the other stuff in the drawer, bro. I like it, Mario. I like it. Sierra's cool too, but I feel like she needs to be on somebody's stage.
Yeah, she played too much,
and more on. Maybe she should have been with Red.
I don't think that would have worked.
I don't know. Like maybe they could have write jokes together. Like she has a big personality, and I mean, like, it's cool for a friend, but I don't know if I seen that serious side of her that would make me go, like, okay, I can trust her with a household.
Yeah, I mean, she's not showing any vulnerability. She's not really opening herself up in that way to the guys to really get close. I feel like she's cracking jokes, making light of situations, and just kind of listening and judging what the guys have to say, but she's not allowing herself to be judged and looked at in the same way.
And the one time she did open her mouth, she said, like, what about that Birkin bag? What about like, these superficial things that made the other Chris that was voted off go, like, what?
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
So we haven't really got, Sierra talked a lot, but we don't know nothing still.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But continue.
Right. Next, we have Jessica with her two friends, and we have Chris and Marie.
Yeah, he riding on that high from that last date, man.
And I was surprised to see Marie there with the whole, I don't want to call it witchcraft, but that's how Janelle has it in my head, the occult stuff.
Uh-huh.
So Marie, he comes in, he brings her a gift, and he wants to apologize.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not apologizing for myself or my beliefs, but I didn't have to spring it on you. I could have talked to you about that first.
Listen here, man, and I would say, good idea with a gift, but if you want to convince people that you're not a witch, don't get them a candle.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I
was like, bruh.
Well, she gonna think you put some root on it or something.
I'm about to say, like, nothing with fire, wicks, flames. You should have just got her a gift card on Amazon or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, but I
should give her a Bible cover or something.
Exactly.
Something that she's into.
Listen here. She said, for me and my house, we serve the Lord. Listen, they got a whole bunch of kitchen mats that say that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in this house, we serve Jesus or whatever it is. But I do like the thought that counts. It just felt like like I said, Marie, in that last episode, it felt like his body was there, but his spirit was just like he wasn't himself. He was down on that last episode because that date went so bad. Yeah. Now it's like, okay,
he was just like a fly on the room, just watching everything crumble.
when he's the main character.
Exactly. Turn it around. Turn it around. Come on, man.
But now he's taking initiative.
Yeah.
Now he's actually like, we get to learn more than just that being put out and things like that. So that's why I'm like, Mario really stuck out to me this episode. I wanted to give him his props this week.
Yeah, he turned it around this week. He did. So
shout out to Jessica. Jessica's my girl.
Yeah. So Jessica's friends asked Chris, what are the qualities that you like and see in Jessica? What are the wifely qualities that you see in her?
Oh my goodness. And
Chris is having a hard time.
He just looked at her.
He's like, she's beautiful.
You said wife qualities?
Well, what I want in a wife is
she's a woman. So
we got that.
We got that off the list. Women have babies. Okay, right. Okay.
She's sexy.
Chris,
we can all agree.
Chris, I want you gone. Listen here. All jokes aside, this is the most serious I've ever been on this show, particularly Ready to Love. Chris, I want you out of here. I want you gone. Because what you are doing in representing Jessica is not fair to Jessica. It's not. I'm gonna even brought out. It's not fair to black women who who are strong.
Speak for the community.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead. Go
who
on.
are strong, who are independent. She's an entrepreneur. She got her own thing. And I personally feel like you're jealous and you don't want nobody else to shine but you. That's my opinion. Because there's no reason why where this woman has been calling, texting, communicating,
bringing your lunch,
walking on dirt
hugging
with
your
his,
ex,
all these things of that nature, and you don't know what makes her a wife quality? How dare you? like, what's wrong with you? Continue, Blair. Continue.
Right, Chris is through with you, Chris. Okay,
I'm very done with you.
So the friend says, well, are you referencing like her softer side as far as there being like an issue with trying to name her wife qualities? He's like, oh, she's been talking to you. Well, yes, that is one. Clearly, I was about to say something. Clearly, because she brought her friends. Of course, she's talking to her friends about the process. So,
because he started talking about there's been a break of communication between them two. Mm-hmm. The problem with Chris is I know why he's single. It just hit me. The people that he wants to like don't like him. But I promise you, there's a group of women that probably like him and have interest. Mm-hmm. And if he don't see it, he's blind to it. He don't even realize Jessica like him.
Yeah.
He don't even see that like she wants to build a connection with him.
Or the positives.
And things like that. Her. So like he's completely blind. Like he to this point, that question should have been, especially since he's looking for a wife. Mm-hmm. He made it clear he's looking for a wife. He's looking for someone to support and things like that. So you should be thinking like the fact that he didn't even have a quality to attach to Jessica.
That's crazy.
To a wife, but you're looking for a wife. Mm-hmm. And you've been talking to her.
So what you been doing with her?
What have you been doing? Mm-hmm. And Jessica just looking at him like what do you want her to do? She's sitting there quiet. Mm-hmm. Waiting for an answer as well. Yeah. But continue.
Yeah. They asked Marie the same thing.
Oh, boy. Here come my boy.
And Marie says, his toes curls by her. He loved that strong side of her. He didn't say that for real, but that's what I gathered. It turns him on. Mm-hmm. Okay?
But he did mention that, like, listen here. I have no problem with a strong woman. Mm-hmm. And things like that. And they making Jessica seem like this stone cold killer. She ain't that. But she's an entrepreneur. She's an owner of her own coffee line. You get what I'm saying? So she has to have some type of strength to get into that field with, like, to work with the big boys and work with the big women and stuff like that. So Marie gave the correct answer. I'm not intimidated by it. I'm paraphrasing. Like, I love a strong woman. Mm-hmm. The toes curls that, a little much. But but I like that in Marie. Good job, man.
Yeah. And he also expresses the fact that in a wife that he needs emotional security. He wants someone that he can tell his dreams and his nightmares to.
He read something before he got there.
Marie was on point. Okay, he was on point this episode. And they ask, well, what are some things that you do for having hard times or whatever? And Marie expresses that he's in therapy, that his father passed away recently. Yeah. And he's in therapy to help him through that. And he's willing to continue in therapy for any hard things in life.
I like after Marie answered that, the friend was like, Chris, are you in therapy?
I'm in virtual therapy.
Yeah. but if you caught the shade, as women would say, the shade as in basically she asked that, or whoever asked that, I think the man asked that, I think it was between the two. Mm-hmm. They asked that basically saying, you may need therapy, brother. Yeah. They say, hey man, are you in therapy?
Yeah. Are you getting help for
it's for like all this thing? He like, yeah, man, like I think everybody need therapy. I'm in virtual therapy, and there's nothing wrong. Like I know Blair made a joke. There's nothing wrong with virtual therapy. Like,
no, absolutely not.
Like there's nothing wrong.
I prefer it. I don't want to go nowhere.
Right. So it's just the idea that they said, Chris, are you in therapy? I was like, yes, he needs it. Yeah, he needs it. Yeah. And then I guess he just like, you know what? I'm done here.
Yeah. So they leave. Yeah, he gets up and leaves. Mario, I thought he was going to stick around for a little bit. Seemed like he was comfortable there, but he got to going as well. And the friends expressed that they like Mario better, that he answered the questions with a bit more depth. And they didn't really get the values, get that Chris really liked Jessica. So that's where they ended there.
Did you catch what Jessica said in the confessional?
I know she said that she wanted to part ways amicably with Chris and thinking it's probably just about time they go ahead and do that.
You make it so anticlimactic with that. Like that's not something just to just browse by. She said,
"Okay, give us the energy."
I'm about to say, goodness gracious. Mm-hmm. She said, like basically, like she know who she is, and that she's not going to basically change for anybody. And basically, if you don't like it, then I just have to part ways with Chris.
Yeah.
More than just saying, I just got to part ways with Chris, and then like the next.
I mean, rightfully so. Like
exactly.
Even though Jessica isn't my fave, I think her connection with Janelle is rubbing off on her, or I don't know. I don't like their dynamic, and I do feel like they was Mean Girls. I'm not here for Kira. But I do feel like.
Listen here, I feel like you defending the dead. But Kara is gone.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not defending her, but I'm just saying that Jessica has rubbed me the wrong way in a couple ways. But I do think that for herself and for her journey, that absolutely get rid of somebody who doesn't celebrate you or who doesn't like your personality or doesn't see anything positive to say about you other than how you look. Definitely get rid of him. Wish you would have done it sooner, sis.
Listen here.
So
I have no problem with the double J's. Okay? No problem with the double J's. Kara, guess what? I had a problem with the boots. I had a problem with your anti-blackness or like whatever the thing you were trying to do passive aggressively. Like, cool. Just because Janelle was able to identify it and let you know, little girl, I ain't playing with you. Little girl was a bit much. But I
don't like you, and I ain't talking to you no more.
I banged
I don't want to be your friend.
I banged with that. Because I'm going to let you know where I stand, and you ain't going to play with me. And things like that. They seen something that we didn't see on camera. Because I'm like, nobody is that invested in that type of energy.
I feel like Janelle just be going hard on stuff that don't need to be going hard on.
Janelle lived a long life, y'all. She 41 or 40 years old. She recognized the bull when she see it. And I have no problem with Double J, Janelle, and Jessica. And I ain't going to be on here defending the dead when it comes to who been eliminated on the show.
Right.
Continue.
Okay. Next, we get back into the ladies' lounge. And Tommy is feeling Lee's outfit. I just want to say that. She got that leg out.
Man, move on from Lee. Don't mention Lee. Okay.
So he goes around the room, talks to everybody about how they felt about their dates. Lee just says she had a good time, but her friend didn't ask the tough questions. Janelle was saying how her friend liked Quentin and how he spoke about her and felt that Herbert was just a smooth talker. And then all the women were like, my friend said the same thing.
Oh, my goodness.
So Jessica, her friends liked Maury the best. Sierra says that Maury seemed more husband material to the friends. And Herbert seems like just a good time guy.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with a good time, though. There's nothing wrong with a good time.
Well, yeah, if you want something serious.
I'm going to have a good time on my way to something serious with you.
And then Aries was saying that her friends felt that Chris was the better choice, that he was deep and he was specific. And Chris wasn't that way in his other days, specifically with Jessica. And
Jessica was surprised, like, what?
Yeah, like he can be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, for somebody he likes.
Yeah.
He doesn't like you.
Boo, Chris. Boo.
And then Kat, she said that her friend Allie was saying that Herbert can't be trusted and that Kat should continue to look around. I don't know who else Kat
these are the guys that's left
at the end. So I guess she's gonna have to try and see what else she could reel in.
Kat is falling into that Carol lane to where your guy may not be on the show, baby.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like your guy may not be on the show. You're definitely beautiful, but I just think like it's not Herbert because you think he's a smooth talker. It's not Quentin because I don't think I've seen y'all connect. It's not Marie because come on. It's not Phil because he already got Aries.
Yeah.
It's not Chris. So it's like your guy may not be on the show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we get some names thrown out about who the ladies aren't feeling, and Phil comes up.
Wow.
Marie, Herbert, and Chris. So
that's a lot of names.
Yeah. So they are going on the eliminate.
And who are the two guys that's on the eliminate?
Herbert and Chris.
Please, Chris. Go home, Chris. Please, Chris, go home.
And we find out that Herbert is eliminated. Chris gets to stay. Aries is the one who took Chris out, and she's giving him some feedback that, look, the ladies need you to get a little bit more deeper and specific. about what you like and give us a little bit more. And Chris says they need to look in the mirror. It ain't me, it's them.
Chris.
F them.
Chris,
is what I heard.
I'll tell you this right now, buddy. You survived this week. Good job, buddy.
Yes.
Okay. But I think the women have the men have the power probably next week or like whatever. They're going on a resort or whatever they're doing.
Yep, they're going on the resort weekend.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. This is my first time watching the show, but Chris, I want an altercation between Chris and Jessica, and I want Jessica to tell him off, and I want Janelle to come in and drop kick him.
I'm about to say, she going to finish him off.
The double J, okay? I want the double J to tag team Chris because Chris needs a wake-up call. What he views as strength is really weakness, and it's not right. And what he views as a minus is really a plus, and it will suit his life
a lot better.
Mm-hmm. A lot better. Anything else that happened on the show that you're looking forward to?
I think I'm along with you. I'm looking forward for Lee to go home.
Thank you. Please.
That's one thing I'm looking forward to. It's been nice having her around. She's cute to look at, but honestly, Lee,
listen here.
You're not really connecting with anybody. You haven't really opened up. We don't really know you. Just go off and find your person. And because just the scenes with Lee, it's literally like just...
It's hurting me.
Like dead space in the airways. Like it's literally nothing happening.
And look, I said, I got nothing against nobody on the show. I think all the men and all the women are beautiful black people. Mm-hmm. But Lee, you need to go
And
home.
the thing is with Lee, like I've met people like Lee and even have friends like Lee who they internalize things, and it's like their mind is moving and they're having all these thoughts, but they don't necessarily express it. And I think that's what we're getting with Lee, is that we aren't getting to see her process because she's keeping it all to herself. And I can't get invested if I don't know what's going on.
Well,
so
keep it to yourself, by yourself, away from us who watch the show.
Yeah.
And things of that nature.
Yeah.
I love the preview for this show. Unfortunately, I guess the reputation proceeds. Is that the right way to say it?
Yes.
Proceeds. Mm-hmm. I just see in the preview Janelle yelling. I don't know who she's yelling at. I don't know who she's fussing at. But Janelle is yelling at somebody, and I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm on Janelle's side. I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong, but I'm on Jay's side. Okay?
And I'm never on Janelle's side.
Okay. You'd probably be the one getting yelled at, probably, if it was Janelle.
Probably we'd be yelling at each other. Who cares?
Okay. Well, Janelle.
We just some yelling and mother effers.
Janelle don't seem like the type to yell for much longer. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Hopefully y'all enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
And y'all have a good week.
Bye.